Hi, and welcome to another weekly edition of the H&H Debriefing. I am Heather Waters, the site manager, and I am here with Jennifer Profit and Megan Frampton. And today is September 19th, 2014. And first we wanted to mention that we were delighted last night to be awarded a Golden Apple from the Romance Writers of America New York City chapter. And I have our award right here. We were Media Source of the Year, and we were just so excited. That was really lovely of them. And we will keep trying to be a good media source, I guess. Today we wanted to talk about a topic that is very close to our hearts, and especially to my heart, which is shipping. And I thought first I would define shipping because we still have some questions in the comments sometimes about what is shipping? Am I missing something? Are you talking about mailing packages all the time? I don't know. So I understand the confusion. So let me clarify what that is. Shipping, actually, legend has it that shipping comes from the term relationshipping, and it was actually coined by the X-Files fandom. And that would have been in the early 90s. Of course, the idea of shipping has existed for a very, very long time, so this is just kind of, in the internet age, we've taken to call it shipping. So shipping can be, you can be a shipper, the noun, to ship is the verb. You can basically use it in any possible way. So am I explaining that well, guys? Can you think of anything else to add?
I think it's just very much a term that, sorry about that, that it means different things for different people, or you define shipping in different ways. And so because it is such a new term, it changes quite a lot, I think. Not
Right.
like a lot, but it just changes from person to person.
The common definition for shipping or relationshipping is a person who is highly invested in a pairing or two characters that you think have feelings for each other based on your reading of the text, whether it be a book, a movie, a television show, a video game. It means if you ship something, it means that you see a connection, a potential romance between two characters. You ship it, you are rooting for them to get together at some point. So if you were really into the X-Files, which I'm actually wearing my lovely X-Files shirt today, and you love the partnership of Mulder and Scully, and you thought that they should actually not just be partners, but that they should be more, then you were a Mulder and Scully shipper. And this can apply, again, to books, movies, television shows, whatever you want it to. And then there are crack ships where you're probably never going to see them happen in the text, aka canon, but you still think that they would have amazing chemistry if they ever did get together. So shipping is pretty complicated, to say the least, but that's kind of some general definitions. And then we wanted to talk a little bit about our favorite ships, and then throw it out to you guys and have you tell us what some of your favorite ships are. Megan?
Well, I guess the ship that's most on my mind right now is the Sleepy Hollow one of Ichabod and Abby. We have a Shipping Sunday post coming up on that, and I'm actually now torn about whether or not I root for them. I know I'm deeply invested in the two characters, and if it makes sense for them to be together, then I'm all for it, but I'm not all for it just because they would look awesome together.
Which they would, and they do.
Which they would, and they do. And, you know, oh my God, they're so cute together. And then I guess I'm trying to think
Wait, let's stick with Sleepy Hollow for a second, because I wanted to add that I feel like because I watch it and I ship it. I'm not actually caught up, but whenever they're on screen together, I just want them to make out. So I would say that I ship them, even though, despite wanting to see them make out, I don't actually want them to get together for a really long time if they ever do. So I think that you can still ship something and think, I'm really enjoying the anticipation, and I hope it takes them a long time to get together. So I do want to clarify that not just because you ship something doesn't mean you want it to happen right away, which is how I feel about Arrow and Oliver and Felicity. I think at some point they would be perfect together, but they need some time to kind of mature as characters before they get together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense, and that actually articulates better what I feel, which shows that I'm just a novice shipper or a casual fan, as Heather likes to say, because I don't have huge things that I'm rooted for, and like I'll never watch the show if this doesn't happen or if that doesn't happen. But with Sleepy Hollow, I really, because I've gotten to like the two characters so much, I want them both to be happy, and I definitely together or apart, and I definitely anti-ship Ichabod with Katrina, his wife.
His canon wife, okay.
Who's horrible because she lied to him about being a witch and she lied to him about having a baby. What other things has she lied about is all I'm asking.
That's
so anyway, so that's what I'm talking about now.
Jen, did you want to weigh in on that?
Well, I was going to say, what else did she lie about to get into purgatory? Selling his soul is not a action that you take lightly, and I don't.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! Sorry.
For Heather, who hasn't caught up on the show.
Yeah. But I think that anyone who is willing live. And interestingly enough, Megan, you mentioned the anti-ship, and that's something that I've been talking about a lot recently, that I'm not so much an anti-shipper. Like with How I Met Your Mother, I was not a shipper for Ted and Robin, and I was more of a shipper for Robin and Barney, but I was more strongly, very strongly, an anti-shipper for Ted and Robin, which is, of course, spoiler, how the show actually ended. So yeah, I think that's more of the shipping style that I take. So I guess that I am a negative general watcher.
Which is interesting. I would love to have people weigh in, especially those that have been parts of fandoms anymore. Is anyone else familiar with anti-shippers? Am I completely forgetting that, or would we just refer to them as, I don't know, general fans, gen fans? We've been talking a lot about anti-shipping, and I just couldn't remember any precedent for that in the fandom, so I'd be curious if that is something other people talk about, or if you would just avoid the fandom. I don't know, but it's true, because we certainly have ships that we would never want to see together. Maybe your no TP, I guess, is what people would refer to that as. So yeah, that's really interesting that you can have really strong feelings about a couple, or just have really strong feelings about a couple not getting together. That's also totally fair. So what other ships have we really been talking about?
Mindy and Danny.
Mindy and Danny. That was another one where I was completely happy to wait for them to get together and for their friendship to develop first. I think if they had gotten together, if they had kissed in that first season finale, there would have been nowhere near enough build up for you to be really invested. So I thought the way that Mindy Kaling paced this past season was amazing, and I think it's going to pay off in season 3.
I agree. I think it was. I'm really looking forward to the hijinks that happen with a happily committed couple who are still very two holidays. Just like real life. So.
And I think
to grow a lot as people before they could actually be a couple. So I am on board with you guys. I think that they really needed to wait that ship out and make it work for both parties.
Right, and I think that they're going to prove that moonlighting effect very, very wrong. As a lot of critics have pointed out, moonlighting went bad before the two of them were actually together. It was already going south. So I think this will be a chance for Mindy to really do it right and prove for once and for all that that is a bunch of baloney. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think to close out for today, we wanted to ask both, what are your favorite couples? Who are you shipping lately? And also, do you think that everyone is a shipper? Because we have been going back and forth about that, about whether average television viewers are shippers or if they're just happy to see people end up together if the story is done well, they're happy, and they don't think much more about it, or is everyone invested in seeing certain couples end up together, I guess is my question. Did you guys have anything else to add?
Nothing except for, well, we do have a post that asked that question that you posed, Heather, so people can
And we've
go to
had
the site
some really
and
interesting conversations.
Yeah, really, really interesting and totally surprising me because I came from one side of it, and I won't say where. Go read my comment to find out what I said. But
we'll leave you to guess.
Yeah. So no, nothing else. We've got Sleepy Hollow returns on Monday, and maybe we'll have something about it the next day, depending what happens. There's been rumors of a kiss happening from the showrunners, and I'm excited about that. And yeah, I guess that's it.
We have a lot of TV coverage coming up this fall season. It's going to be great. Downton Abbey is coming back, and there's always romantic shenanigans on that show. We'll be covering Arrow, as in, oh my God, did you see if anything major happens with Oliver and Felicity? As Megan mentioned, we're covering Sleepy Hollow again. There's a show coming out called The Affair, which will deal with infidelity, and that will be fascinating. So we have a lot of awesome TV coverage coming up and plenty of opportunities to talk about shipping, and we hope that you'll join us. So thank you, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday. Bye.
Bye.